Priced at around $40, it's clear that the Ganiza Immersion Blender is an appealing overall package. Its 1000-watt motor is also so impressive that it even makes us do a quick double take. Still, that's just on paper. Real-life performance could tell a different story. So keep watching. You want to see what happened in our test. I'm Tina and welcome back to our Shouldit Blender Series. Now, let's see the test in action, but before we get into the details, take a moment to visit how Shouldit Test Immersion Blenders. That guide explains exactly how we run our evaluations. And with that background, you'll better appreciate what's happening in this first trial, hot soup puree. For the first round, our test recipe features chicken broth, onion, celery, pumpkin, and carrot. Each ingredient was pressure cooked until tender enough to blend smoothly. To ensure consistency, we maintain the soup's temperature between 136 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, the same range we used across on our blender test. And once it was ready, we ran the blender at full speed for 30 seconds. To our surprise, the Ganiza handled this challenge with ease. One thing though, it stuck slightly to the bottom of the beaker during operation, which somewhat disrupted the blending flow. Regarding the soup's quality, the mixture turned creamy without any large visible lumps. Only when it was strained through a mesh strainer did a trace amount of residue reveal itself. A few more seconds of blending could fix that, but if it's not a restaurant smooth texture you're after, you'll likely be happy with this result. It was soft, uniform, and most importantly, didn't pose any choking risk for your babies. Hot soup puree, 8.5 out of 10. Next, we move on to the frozen smoothie featuring frozen mango, frozen pineapple, kale, and a bit of water. Actually, this is a demanding test that pushes every hand blender to its performance limits, and the Ganiza was no exception. The first phase was promising, with the blades powering through the kale easily. Soon after, though, we had to press the blending wand down firmly to keep it in contact with the ingredients. Even so, the blades just skimmed over the frozen chunks. It wasn't until the fruit started to thaw out that everything could be blended and gradually combined together. On the flip side, the final consistency was smooth and reasonably creamy after nearly 2 minutes of blending. It was rather watery as the long blending time had caused it to lose some of its creamy thickness, but in general, it still offered a pleasant, well-balanced taste, with the flavors of mango and pineapple remaining vibrant and fresh. Smoothie, 6.8 out of 10. The third experiment was mayonnaise, a mix of 3 egg yolks and 240 ml of oil. During the process, the Ganiza could smoothly maintain a consistent low speed and draw the ingredients into its plate, which allowed the emulsion to develop quickly and reach a stable mayonnaise in just 1.5 minutes. That said, keeping the beaker steady while mixing got a bit annoying. Due to the motor's extreme vibration that traveled down the handle and into the beaker, it made sense when you saw the beaker wobble. The final result was nicely uniform. The consistency was thick enough for spreading. The taste was spot on. rich and balanced. It could have been more cohesive with a few small adjustments to the recipe, but overall, we all found such an outcome quite pleasing. Mayonnaise, 8.5 out of 10. Test number 4 focused on almond milk. We combine 1 cup of raw almonds with 3 cups of filtered water in the 24-ounce beaker and blend it at full power until it turns smooth and consistent. Here, the Ganiza's performance was well below expectations. The first drawback was that the motor didn't draw the almond efficiently toward the blaze, resulting in poor circulation and longer completion time. Secondly, instead of creating a smooth vortex, it flashed outward, causing milk to spread out in all directions. Over time, vibration increased significantly and control became trickier. Obviously, the guard around the blade did very little to prevent splashing, and the blades weren't properly designed to generate an effective inward vortex. By the end, the liquid was everywhere, and our countertop was nothing but a total mess. We continued to assess the remaining milk consistency by straining it and observe a rather even riding of the nuts. This suggested the result came out with a medium-thick consistency. Although it lacked the creamy density of a perfectly blended part, it wasn't too watery nor too thin. Almond milk, 7.3 out of 10. For the last test, we whipped 100 ml of egg whites. After nearly a full minute of aerating, the whites somehow still remain glossy and sluggish. Even then, the texture changed from liquid to frothy very slowly. Roughly 2 minutes in, it finally thickened and rose into stiff bakes, which was usable for light baking tasks and casual meringues. This achievement was something to be proud of. But we got severe hand fatigue from prolonged operation, compounded by strong motor vibration. Our fingers were dead, and we strongly disliked this appearance. Whipped egg whites, 8 out of 10. So, following the completion of the 5 performance tests, the Ganiza receives the score of 7.8 out of 10. The Ganiza Immersion Blender delivers a fairly standard blending capability. It does what it's supposed to without being overwhelmingly amazing. The 1000 watt motor is sufficient for daily use, yet you notice some downsides in how it performs. The ones that might wear you down the longer you use it. Design-wise, the material is plain, ordinary stainless steel, and the handling ensures a comfortable grip. However, it doesn't look as slick as higher-end models, and the build quality could be better in some areas. Overall, this hand blender is not a bad option. You won't get professional level speed or texture here, but it's affordable and suitable for simple recipes or occasional use. That's it for our review of the Ganiza Immersion Blender. You can find more details through the link in the description or explore other options in our Shouldit Blender series. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you catch our upcoming reviews. Thanks for watching Shouldit and see you in the next video. Bye!